Hello, and welcome to the Earth Chats podcast. I'm your host, Sahara. I'm an activist, writer, speaker, and listener with a passion for creating change in our world. Join me and special guests weekly as we have inspiring conversations and reveal insightful knowledge, tips, and tricks on how you can live more mindfully on this planet. Tune in every Wednesday and make sure to hit subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest episodes. As a special gift to our listeners, BMDM Digital has created a 52-page free social media training guide that will help you ignite your social media. You can download your free copy in the link below. And now, without further ado, let's get on with the episode. Hello, and welcome to another podcast. Today is a solo episode, and today I just want to chat to you guys about just being. Now, yesterday, after listening to the President's address to the nation and the decision to extend the lockdown for another 2 weeks here in South Africa, bringing us to the end of April with our lockdown, I know a lot of us can be feeling very overwhelmed, anxious, stressed, all the regular feelings that we'll be feeling in this moment, in this time that I think are probably coming up all the time for us throughout different times of the day. But I think I just want to talk about just being in this moment, because I think it's so easy for us to want to just push our feelings aside and not have to deal with them. And this really goes for anything you're facing in your life, any difficult situation. I think as humans, we very much want to just push difficult feelings aside. We don't want to deal with them. And I think there's something so powerful about being able to sit and just be with your emotions. It's something that I've had to do countless times, that I'm still learning to do, because I still, if a little thought pops up or an emotion I don't really want to deal with, the ultimate feeling is just to push it aside and carry on with my day. And then usually what ends up happening is I get to the end of my day and I feel like exhausted. I feel like, whoa, what just happened? Like, I feel unpresent, I feel ungrounded. And I don't know if you can relate, but I mean, I really don't like to feel like that. I don't think anybody likes to feel like that you reach the end of your day and you just feel spun out completely. And then I always come back to my pen and my paper, and I sit down and I journal and I write and I feel into what I'm feeling, and I realize, if I had dealt with this in that moment, maybe my whole day wouldn't have looked like such a blur. And so, even if that means taking 5, 10, 20, 15, 20, half an hour, whatever it is, minutes out of your day to just sit and process through whatever you're feeling, then do that. And especially now, because it's such a rocky road, this whole thing is such a hectic kind of crazy time, that sometimes it's hard to remember that, we need to look after ourselves as well. And it can feel selfish, it can feel like there's so many people out there that are struggling right now. Why should I have the privilege of, looking after myself and looking after my emotions and my feelings as well as my physical body? And I think I spoke about this last time in a previous podcast about certain aspects of privilege, and how privilege I'm actually, sorry if you can hear the birds, I'm actually standing outside here in my little forested area of our property. It's nice and quiet here, except for the sneaky little cackling woodpeckers in the tree. But anyway, I'll let you have a listen to them, and hopefully you can hear them. It's actually very nice. So it's all in line with my whole message for today's podcast, with just being. And I think that just being is something that we don't do very easily. I think it's not something somehow that really comes naturally, at least for me. I find I very much always feel like I need to be doing something, or I need to be, using my time wisely. I need to be productive. And the thing is that that's all good, and that's all, well and fine. And, I think there's a difference between just being like lazy and unmotivated and not doing anything, with actually, needing to process something or needing to take that resting time. And again, there's nothing wrong with feeling uninspired or unmotivated in a certain time. We don't always need to be on top of the world, and I think we need to start being okay with that as a society on the whole. But I think, like today, for example, was my grandfather's birthday. And we had a lovely I'm braai, and the whole family got together, and I spent pretty much the whole day with my little cousin who's 8 years old. And I'm the oldest granddaughter, he's the oldest grandson. I'm the oldest granddaughter in the whole family. And then it's my sister, my cousin, and then my little cousin who's 8, and he's the eldest grandson. And so we kind of did a little thing together for my grandpa. We just kind of said a couple words together. And so we worked on that together like the whole morning, and then we played some Wii together. And yeah, it was just like, I think it was just so nice to almost be like a kid again and just really be present in the moment. And I caught myself a couple times like thinking, oh, like I should probably go and, catch up on work or do something productive. And then I was like, no, I really don't have to. I can just be in this moment and savor that moment. And I think it's so sad in a way how we don't do that enough. We don't take enough time in our day just to be, just to really feel into what we're feeling, feel into the day, feel into the people that are around us, and how grateful we should be for everything that we have around us. So I think that, taking some time during your day to just be is one of the most important things and one of the most beneficial things you could probably do for yourself, especially in this time, especially in times that are stressful, and when you feel like, life is just going 100 miles a minute and you can't keep up and the world is just whirling around you. It's so important to take that time just to be, and whether that means sitting with a cup of coffee, maybe that means journaling, maybe that means meditating, maybe that means just lying down and having a power nap, whatever that means for you, taking that time. And, I think we need to just be gentler on ourselves, give ourselves grace, be softer on ourselves, because we can be so hard on ourselves sometimes. And I think right now, the situation that we're in is incredibly hard. But I think that we really need to start tapping into love and tapping into appreciation and gratitude for ourselves and for those around us, for our friends, our family, our loved ones. I'm quickly interrupting this episode to bring you a little message from our amazing sponsors who've made this episode possible. I live in the beautiful town of Neisner in the Garden Route, and I want to invite everyone to visit this fantastic part of our country. We have everything: indigenous forests, nature reserves, awesome views, beautiful beaches, and natural wildlife. Come for a dream vacation. Oh, and I almost forgot. Neisner has some of the best restaurants you will find anywhere. Follow us on Instagram at @visitgardenroute, where we will introduce you to our fantastic and favorite people, places, and things to visit. This is us on Instagram at visitgardenroute. And now, without further ado, let's get on with the rest of the episode. I think the world, if you think about the world, we have gone through so much. Humanity has gone through so much. The planet has gone through so much. And I just feel like right now, we need to just give love for everything that we have. And, hopefully the more of us that spread this love, hopefully it will, spread out into the whole world. And, we need to be, instead of like focusing on this negativity and this darkness, focusing on the positivity and the light, and, transforming whatever darkness into something light. Because ultimately we have the power to really shape our reality. And even though there is, all this stuff going on in the world, we have the power to shape our reality in a sense that we decide how we act and how we react. So if we are faced with a difficult situation or a decision or, a pandemic like this, then, we have the option to either get stressed out and get anxious and get upset. And of course, that's 100% fine. And I think there's a time and a place for that. But that doesn't mean that you need to stay in that place for the whole time. You can then decide and choose to think like, okay, this is the current situation. Now, how am I going to react to this? I can either stay in a dark hole, or I can try and see the positives and focus on the light. And I really, truly believe that's what we need to be doing right now. So this has just kind of been a little bit of like a spur of the moment kind of episode. I know it's short and sweet, but I don't know, I'm just sitting here on the deck and I'm looking out at the world around me and I'm seeing the light glancing off of little spider webs in the trees. I'm seeing the beautiful colors of the leaves as autumn is now starting to come in. I'm hearing the birds. I'm smiling. I'm feeling a really full, happy heart because I've just been with my family and I've just enjoyed a really precious time. And it's those little things that matter. And so, I know so many people right now are saying, like, don't waste time. It's time to be productive. It's like, go, do your business startup or whatever it is in this time. And that's all fantastic. But I think, if we're really, truly talking about not wasting time here, then I think we need to, focus on our families and focusing on giving support and giving love to ourselves, to our loved ones, and to our planet. And that is not a waste of time. So I hope that this was just a little happy message to come into your day today. I hope that it was maybe just the thing that you needed to hear, and I hope that it will help you feel encouraged and inspired, and I really hope that it makes you feel loved, because I'm sending you all the love right now from my heart to yours. We just need to be sending all the joy and goodness into the world right now. So thank you so, so much for listening into this podcast and tuning in each week. I have another episode coming out this Wednesday, which is going to be quite a big episode for me. I'm really honored to be able to do it with a beautiful friend of mine. And we're going to be talking about a topic that I haven't talked about much, haven't ever talked about on this podcast. But it's something I really want to delve into. And I also, want to hear from you guys if it's something that you resonate with. So stay tuned for Wednesday's episode. It's going to be a big one. And I'm just sending you all the light and all the love in the world. And I hope that you have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Easter weekend if you are celebrating. And if not, it's just a beautiful weekend with you and your family. Enjoying the show? Then please support us so that we can continue making awesome episodes just for you. A minimum donation of 100 Rand will get you or your business listed on the Earth Chats page as a sponsor with a link to you or your business. Please visit the link below to make your contribution. Thank you for tuning in to the Earth Chats podcast and supporting the show. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you feel someone else could maybe benefit from hearing this conscious conversation, please do give it a share. And that's it for now, guys. I'll see you next week.